Happy holidays. We'd like to welcome you to the first edition of Hogs Haven Live at Hard Times Cafe in Bethesda, Maryland. To my right is Kevin Ewald, co-writer, hogshaven.com. Danny Rouhier, comedian, lifelong Redskins fan, star of videos you see regularly on our website. And we're here today on the second anniversary of Sean Taylor's untimely passing, so we'll get right to it. If Sean Taylor's still on this roster, where is this team and how close are we to a Super Bowl?
I mean, nobody on our defense can catch the ball. We've asserted that, so we've got somebody that can catch the ball. So you figure you take away at least about a couple drives. You know, we lose every game by about 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. So him alone will get us a couple more wins.
With what looks to be a rebuilding on the horizon, what players that we once thought of as untouchable should be dangling on the trading market? And should we trade these guys? Should we pull the trigger?
I don't get how on a roster of a team that's going to win 3, 4, maybe 5 games, I don't get how anybody can be untouchable. Right. I understand you're the best player on a terrible team. To me, it's one of those things where everyone should be touchable. I'm not saying you just take whatever you can get, but if you can get something reasonable, you do it because you're trying to actually build something and be a legitimate team. I think about guys that are demanding huge contracts in other sports, like in the NBA. I think of Andre Iguodala as an example in Philadelphia. He's like, I want the max. I was the best player on a team that won 22 games. It's like, what have you accomplished at this point? You know, like, good stats are one thing, but there's no one on this roster to me that you say you can't live without. Yeah, they're popular players. Obviously, we all know Portis, and we love Cooley, and you know, we know the names of some of these guys, but we haven't won. And it's been a long time since we have won. We snuck into the playoffs with a couple winning streaks here and there. We have not built something substantial, and I don't understand how anybody on our roster, you could say, you know what, I can't live without this guy, because you can live with him, and look what you've done. You know, you're winning 4, 5, 6 games a year, unacceptable.
But when you have players tied to a fan base, like Chris Cooley,
yeah,
clearing that guy out is going to have big waves. Even though it might be better for the long term, you're on a fan base that's already on the fence. You're going to lose fans like that way.
You could lose fans that way. I understand that, but also you're losing fans by winning 4 games a year. This year we're losing fans, you know, and it's the behavior of the front office that's doing it. And if somebody would come out front and say, here's why we're going to get rid of Chris Cooley. We all know you like him. I mean, this will never happen. We're all talking about the back. We're talking about some sort of fantasy world. But if it were to happen, you can say, here's why we're doing it. Chris Cooley can be the best player on a team that stinks for 3 or 4 more years, and then maybe he retires.
So we trade good players in return for draft picks that we draft worse players.
Again, we're talking about a fantasy world where draft picks make sense and where good decisions are possible.
Right.
Obviously, we're talking about a moot point. We all know we're going to draft like the most high-profile quarterback coming up in this draft. So, I mean, this is all wasted time and effort, truthfully. But
The attempt to capture lightning in a bottle on a year-over-year basis is absolutely, it's a kick to the groin every single season that they would try to convince us that they are one, that they're Hainsworth away, that they're one running back away, one wide receiver away. So from a personnel standpoint,
real quick, it's so fitting that for Snyder's mentality, the one big thing he went out, Hainsworth couldn't play the Dallas game. The one game you want him to play.
I was going to say that.
It's so fitting.
And you have all these teams in the league, well, all these teams, you have teams in the league, organizations in the league that have proven that you can be good every single year. That it's possible. You can be good for a long period of time. You don't just have to be good once. And it seems like every year they're just trying to be good once. Like they can prove, like they have something to prove. Oh, we can do it. We can have one good season. But nothing that they do has any chance of sustaining itself. They don't have any. They're not looking to. There's no 3-year plan. There's no 5-year plan. It's always, let's spend $100 million on this guy and hope that gets us to the playoffs. And when did we start caring about only making the playoffs? Don't we pride ourselves on winning championships?
On one hand, you could say, you know, I have friends who are fans of other teams. Friends who are fans of the Bills, the Lions, you know, whatever. Don't worry about it. Message boards. But, like, you know, these guys, their owners won't spend. Sure. So they're jealous of us because our owner will spend the money.
It's hard to discount that.
And there's something to be said for that. The guy obviously wants to win. It is obvious. It's just a matter of delusion, and nobody can tell him that he's going about it the wrong way.
It's the difference between wanting to win and wanting to be a winner.
Right. I mean, the strategy, as you're saying, the point is to win a championship. They thought, the brain trust, the Snyder, whoever you want to talk about, they thought last year when they go, all right, all we need, Albert Hainsworth, and we talked about this before. When they drafted Brian Arakpo, they were all shaking hands like they had just discovered fire, and it was like we are now a championship team. The things that we have here, plus these new pieces, we have made ourselves a title contender, and it is a level of delusion that you can't make that up. You know what I'm saying? It's so staggering. But like you're saying, but the point is they actually think this is the move that puts us over the top.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so they are doing this year-to-year thing, and you're right. They have not sat down and properly evaluated their own talent and actually built something.
They cancel TV shows after 4 episodes of this. You know, these characters are canned. We're looking for a whole new plot line and a whole new crew. This is 10 years. You know, we talk about Hall of Fame running backs for the Washington Redskins. We talk about John Riggins. He's been outwardly critical. What does his very public criticism of this team? What role does that have for us as fans, for the national debate on this team?
I think it was a good thing because he basically was the whistleblower. This is screwed up. We all know it, but the country did not. I'm still waiting for the video to come out of him crawling along the floor like David Hasselhoff. Zorn! Ah! But anyway, no, I mean, when you have media, like players don't really talk to media. They're not going to reveal dirt. John Riggins has contacts. He has contacts in the organization, and he knows it's screwed up. And when somebody of that caliber, that's supposed to be on the side of the Redskins, comes out and says it's screwed up, you know what? Everybody's going to notice it. Everybody's going to take, and now something has to change. It's the first step of change when you have core guys that are part of your fan base blow the whistle.
We're going to have a high draft pick next season. Would you? Probably.
Unless we run the tape, right?
We know that Snyder and Serrano are already out there on the recruiting trail looking at quarterbacks. Assuming we take a college quarterback in the first round, what college quarterback excites you the most? And to name 5, we got Clausen at Notre Dame, we got Tebow,
Chris Turner from the Terps.
Chris Turner, we got McCoy, we got Bradford, and the guy who I like, Jake Locker out of Washington, he would be the guy that I want. I think he's moved up everyone's boards. He's not a surprise to anyone anymore. If he comes out, he's probably the top pick, which we're perfectly capable of trading away our entire future to get if they so want him.
If they fall in love, yeah.
Who's your guy?
I mean, you know, I'm not the huge college guy. I mean, I actually think Tebow would be. I think he will be an okay quarterback. I mean, he's got kind of that Ben Roethlisberger where he can take a hit and actually throw an accurate ball. I thought Colt looks good. I mean, I think they all look pretty good. It's just I don't.
Are you afraid of Bradford?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I've got Tebow's release is longer than Campbell's, and his arm strength really isn't that impressive. So, I don't want to be the one that takes Tebow. I think he'll do well, but I feel like if we took him, it would be like a 7th stilt disaster. I mean, it would be like a tire fire.
The next guy's career, you know, we ruined.
It'd be like a Heath Schuler type situation. I think if we took him. I think he could go somewhere else and be successful if they ran the right kind of offense for him. So
he'll be a 2nd round pick, you would think, right?
I think someone's going to jump up and take him too early, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want that to be us.
He probably belongs in the 3rd or 4th.
If we could find a 3rd round pick on him, absolutely, I would do that in a heartbeat. But those other guys, I now have a thing where I'm not impressed with Colt McCoys or the Bradfords, guys that are throwing passes to dudes that are always wide open, and it's all this run and shoot stuff. I haven't seen Colt McCoy or Bradford throw a pass of more than 25 yards in the air the whole season. And all these like dink and dunk things, these guys are getting running starts and they're faster than everybody else.
Well, that'd be perfect then because he won't have any time to throw the ball here. So the dink and dunk would be perfect.
I'm not impressed with those kind of guys as NFL quarterbacks to this point. So the guy that I like Locker. That dude is under constant assault at UW, and a couple years ago when they didn't win a game, he was the only dude that was out there with any kind of sack, just working his ass off and sort of he would keep him engaged single-handedly. The guy that you didn't mention that I love
Jared.
I love Dan Lefevre from Central Michigan.
Okay.
That's my like mid to late 2nd round, the kind of guy that you're going to see. Mark it right here. He's gonna do that thing where he skyrockets up draft boards. People are like, who is this guy? And they're scrambling for tape. The dude stands back there, has a hose, gets rid of it quickly, and knows what the hell he's doing.
Okay.
Dan Lefevre.
All right, that's it for us. I want to say thanks again, Kevin Ewald, Danny Rouhier. I'm Ken Marangolo. Happy holidays,
Catch
guys.
him out at funnydanny.com.
Boom.
Boom.
Thanks, guys.